What you need to be able to do is articulate yourself, and that doesn't come in an accent. In this day and age, what constitutes as being professional, and have the old notions of professionalism, have they died? Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to Up On It, I'm Charlene. So today's video is all around professionalism. So in my WhatsApp groups, shout out to my WhatsApp groups, I've been talking about this a lot, as well as other things, a lot of other things, and it's kind of been keeping me going if I'm very honest. So one of the biggest things we've been talking about is just society and, you know, this idea of professionalism and where it came from. So if we start with even just COVID and what COVID has made us realize. COVID has made us realize that all we need is a laptop and some good Wi-Fi to get things done. We do not need to be strapped to a desk chair in an office building to be able to do what we need to do. People are working from their bedrooms, people are taking meetings from their beds, in their attics, in their basements, on their dining room tables. And so this idea of like getting on the tube and going into an office and swiping in and going to your desk is kind of a little bit obsolete now. Or is it? There are some organizations that still probably function best in that way, but for the most part, and I guess maybe this is from the sample of my friends and people that I know, a lot of people, even when they're going into office spaces, they don't have assigned seating anymore. Everything is like hot desking. People have group rooms that they work in. There's all kinds of sofas and all kinds of fun little places to meet and work and collaboratively work with your team. And so this kind of old school idea of going in and sitting at your one desk and having your little pictures up around your desk, a little plant, and it's not really the reality for so many people anymore. Next, we want to think about where professionalism actually came from, where the idea of what it means to be a professional working person, where did it come from? And we were just thinking, in light of so many things that have been happening and the system and societies that we live in, let's be very honest, a lot of the CEOs and a lot of the COOs and the CFOs and the CMOs of a lot of multinationals are usually men who come from certain backgrounds, who've had a certain level of education or gone to certain types of schools, who come from certain social backgrounds and, to be honest, certain ethnicities or a certain ethnicity. And so this idea of what it means to be professional really has been carved out by that model. And so it always is baffling to me when organizations are like, we want to be more diverse, we want to get more people in, but then the culture in which you have created and the culture which you've decided this is what professionalism, people are like, but this isn't me. Like, I could do the job, but this whole thing isn't me. And it's fair enough, because it's not them. A lot of what we think is professionalism is really kind of a very slim mold, and so a lot of people feel like they don't fit into that mold because it's not them, and it's nothing to do with ability, it's nothing to do with comprehension, it's nothing to do with them being able to do the job. It just is very much a very slim mold that doesn't really fit a lot of people. And a lot of ideals of professionalism, how we dress and how we speak, has been so influenced by that. And so when people don't fit that mold, they feel like, I'm not professional, I don't fit into this kind of corporate environment, which is not true. Even the way we dress nowadays, this idea that maybe our parents might have had of having suit and tie and just this kind of very buttoned, uptight way of doing things, I feel like it's going obsolete, guys. Unless you're in, you know, in an important meeting or you're meeting a client. I work in Canary Wharf. People come to work in hoodies and leggings and Balenciagas, but people come into work and they get the job done. Particularly being a black woman, I've had braids at work, I've had natural hair, I've had, you know, weaves, I've had wigs, and it's just what we do. But I just feel like for a lot of people, it's only recently that they've been comfortable to even have, you know, their natural hair at work. For a lot of people, for a long time, were told that this was the most suitable hair to have in a workplace. This was the hair that was the most appropriate and the most professional. I can tell you so many stories of women that I know who have said, who even now, that people have made comments about hair if they have braids or things like that, like there's a look of professionalism. Well, if you're a man who only keeps their hair short and straight, anything else is not going to look professional to you because that's not your image. And so we need to expand our minds and expand our images of what it means to be professional in so many little ways. In terms of how people speak, so people always talk about being professional in terms of the way that you behave and the way that you speak and the language that you use and the way that you communicate. And so people like me who are from East London, you might feel like, oh, I have to speak differently because what is professional has been set by people who, again, who come from certain backgrounds. And so if you don't feel that background, you feel like, oh, my accent's not professional accent, I have to speak a certain way. What you need to be able to do is articulate yourself, and that doesn't come in an accent. There is a difference in being able to be logical and being measured in your approach and thinking about things and analysing and presenting information, and that has nothing to do with your gender or your race or how you speak or the educational background. That is just about being able to execute your job well and being able to meet your deadlines and being able to do that in a way that is beneficial for everybody in your team. To me, that's all professionalism is, and I definitely feel like it's time that we just address some of these things and looked at them. It's a conversation that's still happening, but I think it's a really interesting conversation that we need to keep having about what actually in this day and age, what constitutes as being professional, and have the old notions of professionalism, have they died? Have they died? You know, let me know what your thoughts are, because I think this is a really interesting conversation about professionalism. So let me know what your thoughts are. Is professionalism just about how you do your job, or is it about the whole package? Is it about how you dress and what you look like? We've been talking about systemic racism and how it's not individuals necessarily that are racist, but the system that we've built around a lot of individuals means that certain individuals are advantaged more than others. I feel like professionalism is one of those things that fits into that. Controversial, but I want to know what you think. Comment, like, subscribe, message me, DM me, share your opinions below. Follow me on all my socials, everything is up on it careers, and I'll see you really soon. Bye guys.